Well, hello there. Happy Monday and happy first day of summer school of our extended school year. So, it might seem a little silly to continue school during the summertime, but actually it's very exciting because we get to continue our learning. And I've heard you're a very big fan of ABC Mouse, which is where a lot of our lessons, or actually all of our lessons during this time, will take place. So, just like before, we learned about literacy. So, we learned about our letters, our uppercase and lowercase letters, the different sounds that they make. And we learned about comprehension, which means you needed to tell me what happened in the story. Who were the characters? Where did the story take place? So the setting. And we used the parts of a story to retell a short story. So we did that one day, and then another day we learned some math, and we're going to do the same thing. So this will take place on Mondays and Wednesdays, and you have the whole week to complete the work. So even though I might film a lesson on a certain day, you can still watch it on another day, as long as the work is completed for the week. So you have 2 days that will do this. It should take 45 minutes. And if it's ever taking longer than that, you can always have mom or dad shoot me an email, give me a phone call, or shoot me a text message. And I'd be very, very happy to plan something else for us. So I'll usually start with a very short introduction video, just like this one, and then I'll let you get to work. So I'll usually introduce what we're working on, a strategy we might be able to use, and how that will help us as learners. So, because it's Monday, that's going to be our literacy day. So we'll focus on reading and reading short stories. So today you should be reading two stories. The first story is A Toy for Spot. I wonder who Spot is. Is it a person? Is it an animal? Is it another toy? You're going to have to read to find out who Spot is and what the toy that Spot has is as well. And you have another story to read, and that story is Where is My Kitten? So you're going to have to read a story to find out where a kitten went. And the little boy or the little girl has to go look through his house or her house and find where their kitten went. So you're going to have to read that story, both of those stories, and you'll answer a few questions. Now remember, we learned a few strategies for when we're reading short stories or short stories are being read to us. So we have this paper, and it says, I can retell. So what can you retell? Well, we talked about this long word here that says characters. And we see this boy and a girl next to each other resembling the characters. So if we think of the characters in the story Snow White, which we talked about, who's the characters? Well, we know the story's about Snow White, so there's one character, the evil queen. And where does she go when she runs from the castle to hide from the evil queen? The cottage. And who lived at the cottage? The dwarfs. So we have Snow White, the evil queen, and all of the dwarfs. And who saves Snow White at the end? Prince Charming. So those are the characters. We also learned about setting. And we have a little house to resemble. So if we think of the story Snow White, where did the story take place? Well, at first it took place at the castle, but then she ran away. She ran into the woods, into the forest, and found a cottage. So those are three different settings. So we have the castle, the forest, and the cottage where the dwarves lived. Next, we had what happened first. what happened next, and what happened last. We also talked about what happened in the beginning of the story, the middle, and the end. So if we think the about Snow White, first she ran away from the castle to hide from the evil queen. Next, she took care of the dwarves because they let her stay there. So she cooked for them, she cleaned for them when they were at work. And last, when the evil queen came, because Snow White was still the fairest in the land, and fed her the poison apple, Prince Charming came and saved the day and saved Snow White. So that happened last. So we can use this to help us remember what happened in a short story. So when you're reading Where is My Kitten? Try to remember, where did they look first? Where did they look next? And where did they look last to see where they found the kitten? You can also use that for a toy for Spot as well. But those are the two stories you'll be reading today. And those are some strategies you can use while you're reading. After you read the story, there might be a game you can play, whether it's a puzzle that has a character in it, or another activity, a matching game. And then you'll have some questions to answer, and those questions will be about the story. I suggest that you listen to the story 3 times. They're very short stories and shouldn't be more than 5 minutes. Some of them are even less than 5 minutes, around 3 minutes, some of them. So you should listen to them 3 times so you can hear exactly what's happening and you can remember when it's being read to you. So you could read it once and then play a game and read it 2 more times before you answer the questions. You could read it all 3 times, play the game, and then do the questions. Or read it twice, play the game, read it 1 more time, and then do the questions. Any order you would like to do. All right. So if you have any questions at all, I'd be very, very happy to help. And if there's any complications when you're using ABC Mouse, just email me, text me, or give me a phone call, and I will try to help out as best as I can. All right. I hope you have a marvelous Monday, and I miss you very, very much. I'm hoping I will see you in person soon in the fall, but we'll have to see. If not, I still miss you no matter what, and we'll keep doing our best, just like we always do. All right. I hope you enjoy these 2 stories, and I can't wait to see what you think and how you do when we're reading them. All right. Have a great day. Bye-bye.